Hey guys, so I'm out today. We do have a lesson that we're going to go through, and we do have homework that we're going to have tonight. So that's the news. So the lesson you'll be getting passed out to you, or should be passed out to already. And that lesson is going to be writing linear equations when you're given a graph. So last week we learned about slope-intercept form and how to convert standard form into slope-intercept form. So today we're going to take some graphs, we're going to be given some information, and we will figure out what the equations are. I don't think this is going to be too tricky for you. However, I do think that it's going to take some practice, which is why you're going to have homework tonight. Alright, so let's get into it. This is a program that I just downloaded. Well, not just downloaded. I've had for a while. It's called GIMP, and hopefully it will allow me to write on the paper a bit easier. So yeah, that seems like it's going to work very well. So this is the first page that you'll be given. It will have a front and back. So you'll have this page, and then you'll have this page. This will be the back of it. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then you'll have your homework, and that'll be given to you later on after we're done practicing. So when we are writing linear equations, when we're given a graph, there's two steps. The first step is that we have to identify. So the first step says identify, and then we have to identify the slope. So we have to identify the slope, and then we also have to identify the y-intercept. So the slope and the y-intercept. After we've identified the slope, and I'm going to make a little note somewhere on the side of my page that, actually I'll write it down here. So m equals slope, and the b equals the y-intercept. I'm just going to write y-int. So when we find this information, our slope and our y-intercept, we'll be ready to write out our equation. The slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So with this information, we're now ready to tackle the first problem here. So here's some examples. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to get us a little bit more info, or a little bit better view. So number one, we're looking for the slope. The way I can find the slope is, let me do another color here. So the way I can find the slope, let me see, we'll do that in the slope finding, we'll do it in a bluish color, is we find our 2 points. And we see that the first point is way down here. I'm going to do a little dot on that point. There we go. And the other point is up here. So remember, to find slope, we have to rise and run. So we rise 1, 2, 3, and then we go over 1. So that means it's 3 over 1, or just 3. Wow, that is bright. So maybe I need to change that color a little bit. We'll do a less bright color. All right. So we have our slope, which is 3. And what is our y-intercept? If we look, we see where our dot was, which was down here. And we just count -1, -2, -3. So our y-intercept is -3. The way we would write out this whole equation, y equals 3x minus, because it's a -3, minus 3. And that is our slope, or yeah, that's our slope-intercept form with this graph. Let's try another one here. So for this one over here, I've got my 2 points, and I can actually work this backwards before I get my slope. I can look and see that my y-intercept for this point is going to be a +1, +2. So that means that my y-intercept is just going to be 2. And then as I am looking now for my slope, I have to rise then run. So I have to go down 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. So that means that my slope is going to be 3, 2, or negative 3 halves. So my equation for this would be y equals negative 3 halves x plus 2. And that is how I'm going to, there we go. That's how I'm going to get the slope every single time. If I continue doing this slope of negative 3 then over 2, I would get my next point. 1, 2, 3 over 2. Yep. So let's practice another one. Now this time, they do not give us the m or the b. So I would honestly, if I were you, I would put it over on the side here. So I'd be like m equals and b equals. So that way I have my notes and I know that I'm never going to get them incorrect as long as I am working them out this way. So this little 0 here means that this is the origin of the graph, and the graph looks like it's pushed over to the left a little bit to get the x-intercept. So let's work backwards. So my b, my y-intercept here is going to be 1, 2. So my y-intercept is 2. And what is my slope going to be now? Now we got the y-intercept, which is this point, and the x-intercept, which is this point over here. Well, if I'm looking at this, I know that I always read my graphs left to right, just like I read a book. So I have to start at the leftmost point. So the leftmost intersect that I have is going to cause me to go up 1, 2, then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is going to be 2 over 5. Rise over run. So the way I would write that out is going to be y equals 2 over 5 x plus 2. So that's all that there is to that one. I'm probably, let's see, I'm going to probably do one more with you. Then I'm going to have you pause the video and I'll do the rest of them. So, and you'll just check and see if your answers are right. All right, so let's see. Next one, number 4. M equals, B equals. I'm looking here, and I've got my B as a 1. My slope is going to go down 1, 2, 3. So it's negative 3 over 1. So that's actually just going to be negative 3. So I'd write that out as y equals negative 3x plus 1. So y equals negative 3x plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and ask that you guys pause the video here. Let's wait a couple seconds, then, pause the video, finish up your work, and then get back with me, and we will do numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12. Yeah, all right. So I want you guys to work on 6 through 12. When we come back, we will work out 6 through 12, and then we'll talk about 13 and 14 afterwards. So go ahead and pause now. All right. So number 5, I'm just going to get right into it. So my M is going to be over here, and my B, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is going to be y equals 3 over 2 plus 3. Did you guys get that? You should. All right, again, I'm going to go here, do my y and my b. B is negative 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Negative 2 thirds. So this is y equals negative 2 thirds minus 2. 2 thirds x. Don't forget that x there, which I did over here too. Gotta make sure you have your x's in there because that's going to be your variable that you're going to input for your y. Alright, I'll leave that up on the board. You can pause it if you need to go over. And then let's go on to the back here. So number 7. M equals, then B equals. I'm looking here on my origin. My b is going to be -1, -2, -3. And my slope will be positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope will be 4 over 4 or 1. Oops. Let me rewrite this. My slope will be 4 over 4 or 1. And the reason that's 1 is because four pieces of pizza out of 4 pieces of pizza is 1 pizza. So our equation would be y equals x, or 1x if you put it there, that's fine, minus 3. All right, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slope, or b is 4. Slope is 1, 2, 1. So slope is 2. So that means that this is going to be y equals 2x plus 4. Scrolling down, because my page is rather large. All right, so number 9. M equals B equals, I'm just going to write my M equals and B equals everywhere. I like writing my slope and my y-intercept out, so that way I guarantee that I will always get these correct. All right, so my slope, my y-intercept is going to be 1. My slope is -1, -2, 1, 2. That's going to be -2 over 2 or -1. And the reason that that's going to be -1 is because, again, you got 2 out of 2 something, you're going to have the whole. So that means that our equation is going to be y equals -x plus 1. Or, like I said, it could be -1x. Either way would work fine. All right, on to number 10 now. -1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's -4 for my y-intercept. And up 1 over 2. So 1/2, or 1 over 2, is going to be my slope. So my formula, or my equation, is going to be y equals 1/2 x minus 4. I hope that you guys are getting the hang of this. We will, I hope you guys are getting the hang of this. It should be fairly straightforward. Y'all are very smart, so I'm sure you're getting it fine. This one, though, this one might have tripped you up. Number 11. My y-intercept is actually 0. It's right on the origin, which means that it's going to be 0. My slope, on the other hand, I'm going to have to go down 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be -3 over 3, or -1. So that means that this is just simply y equals -x. Or y equals -1x, whichever one you'd prefer. So for number 12, my slope is 1. I'm sorry, my y-intercept is 1, and my slope is -1, -2, 1, 2, 3. -2 thirds. So that means that this is going to be y equals -2 thirds x plus 1. All right. So for these, all you're doing is now you are given your equation. Y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So for these, you're going to have to actually go in and look. And I like to work backwards when I'm given the formula. It's just something about this. It's just super easy for me to find the y, or the y-intercept here, which in this case is -2. So I'm looking at my y-intercept here, and for A, I see that my y-intercept is 2, so that's instantly wrong. I look down here at C, my y-intercept is -2, so that's a possibility. D, my y-intercept is -2, that's a possibility. B, my y-intercept is +2, so that's wrong. So I've already eliminated 50% of my problems there, or my solutions. So now I'm looking at my slope. It has to rise 1 and run 3. So I'm going to start with D down here. And I'm going to rise 1 and run 3. And that brings me to the next point. I'm going to double check with C. So this so far looks like the winner. But I'm going to double check and make sure that C is not right. So I rise 1 and I run 3. And that is not going to be the same point. So C is not the right answer. So it has to be D. And I'd like you guys to pause the video here. Try number 14. It shouldn't take you more than a couple minutes. Just unpause when you're ready, and I will work out the solution for you. All right. So I'm coming back. Again, I'm looking at my intercept here, and I see that my intercept is -1. So any problem that doesn't have -1 as the intercept is incorrect. It looks like all of these have -1. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find an intercept. So I'm going to find where this line goes straight through the x, where it intercepts both the x and the y. And I see one right here, and then I see one right here. So now all I have to do is do my slope, my rise and my run. So I'm going to go down 1, down 2, and over 1. So my slope is -2/1 or -2. So that means that this is a +2, not the right answer. 1/2, not the right answer. -1/2, not the right answer. So the only answer it could be there is C. All right. With that being said, that is our discussion on graphing slope-intercept when given a graph. These should be hole punched. I'll probably hole punch them. If not, I would say keep these with you in your binders for reference. Your homework this evening is going to be front and back, going over exactly what we talked about in class today. You're going to be given the homework. If you have time to work on it in class today, I would highly suggest that. It's due tomorrow. I went over homework for the class over the weekend. I gotta say, man, you guys got a lot of missing assignments. I'm recommending quite a few of you guys, I think 5 or 6 of you guys for Thursday school after Thanksgiving break. Because you got to get caught up on your stuff, man. If you get too far behind in algebra, it's no bueno. You're not going to be able to get caught up. So I'm hoping that you're going to use this time to go over or start working on your homework and hopefully finish it. If you finish it, turn it into the 3rd bin and you're done, man. If not, get your homework done. All right, with that being said, I'll catch you all on the flippity flip. Peace.